On the 25th of September 2015, the member states of the United Nations officially adopted the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. This marks a radical change in the way the world addresses the many serious development challenges it faces. We will only be able to find lasting solutions to end poverty, inequality, and environmental disruption if all nations, regardless of their income level, work together to implement the SDGs in an integrated manner.
I urge partners across the world to embrace the ambition embodied in the new sets of goals. I look forward to working together to deliver on the unfinished MDG commitments.
The 17 Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, embrace the need for a global transformation, one that leaves no one behind and gives every child a fair chance of leading a decent life. The SDGs showcase our commitment to protect future generations by limiting climate change, adopting renewable energy, and sustainably managing resources. However, it has been widely recognized that the SDGs will only succeed if they can succeed in Africa. And for this to happen, we need to make sure Africa is on the path of sustainable development through inclusive and sustainable industrialization. Successfully implementing SDG 9 on inclusive and sustainable industrialization, together with innovation and infrastructure, will bring employment opportunities, economic diversification, enhanced value addition, technological change and innovation, and linkages within and across economies. Over the last decade, Africa has recorded an annual average growth rate of 5%, with some countries reaching more than 7%. But fast growth in Africa has not provided the kind of socio-economic transformation the continent needs to make poverty reduction irreversible. Some African countries are on the right track. In the town of Duken, outside of Addis Ababa, the Ethiopian authorities have established the Eastern Industrial Zone, the first industrial park of its kind in the country, which has created more than 50,000 new jobs in just a few years.
እዚህ ዋጀንስ ብዙ ነገር ጥሩ ጎኖችን ብዙ ነገር አይቻለሁ። እሱ ምንድነው? አንደኛው ለጥሩ 4000 በላይ የሚሆኑ ኢትዮጵያኖች ወጣቶች ጥሩ እድል ከፍተዋል። በዛም ጥሩ በዛም ደግሞ ጥሩ ስኪል አስተምሯል። ጥሩ ስኪል ሞር ስኪል አስተምሯል ኢምፕሎየርስ ማለት ሰራተኞችም ማለት ስለዚህ ብዙ ለኢትዮጵያን ብዙ ዲቨሎፕ አድርጓል ማለት ፈልጋለሁ።
Similarly, the governments of Ghana, Nigeria and Senegal, among others, are working to build industrial sectors that are diversified, globally competitive, environmentally sustainable, and capable of significantly improving their people's living standards. This approach needs to be emulated across Africa over the next decade. Participants at a forum for financing for inclusive and sustainable industrial development held in Addis Ababa in July voiced their strong support for partnerships as the way to implement the post-2015 development agenda.
Often, when people think of industry, they think of pollution or bad labor practices. But when countries industrialize in an inclusive and sustainable way, they can create decent jobs and preserve their resources without exploiting the environment or people. This is at the heart of SDG 9.
As a way to effectively implement SDG 9 in support of Africa's industrialization, new partnerships and implementation models are being introduced, like the Program for Country Partnership, which is currently piloted in Ethiopia and Senegal. The program addresses current challenges, including the need for enhanced cooperation and coordination, and thus presents an effective and efficient partnership model for operationalizing SDG 9. If we join forces and focus on our sustainable development work, by 2030 we will have created a much more equitable, stable, and livable world.